What's good, everybody, and welcome back to my channel, Smoking and Grilling. And today we're doing a seafood gumbo, and we're doing it with me, AB. Hey, listen, this is like super simple. You know what I mean? Hey, you know what? I'm not even gonna say it's super simple. What I'm gonna do is we finna take the mystery out for those of you guys that don't know just how easy it is to make, a seafood gumbo, right? You know what? It really is all in the root. Listen, that's what we're gonna spend our time with in this video. I'm getting ready to show it to you so you guys can see it, and I'm gonna walk you guys through that process. Listen, it's just time. That's all it is. The rest of the ingredients cook like any other dish that I've made. But listen, that's what's so scary about seafood gumbo, or just the word gumbo, period. So with that being said, I'm not gonna over talk it, because listen, we're gonna talk in this video and we finna make it happen, y'all. Let's get it. Okay, here we go. These are all the ingredients, lined out. Don't let this intimidate you. You know what I mean? It's a few ingredients, sure, but it's a lot of just dump and go, right? So now I'm gonna go ahead and just start off by showing you guys, the shrimp. These are the shrimp, as you can see, already peeled, deveined them, and look at the size. You can see by the size of my hand, and this right here, you can just see how big they are, right? So this is about 3 pounds. Now I took the shells, because you guys know I'm saving the shells, right? We're gonna use the shells that came from that. What we're gonna do is we're gonna make we're gonna use this and we're gonna cook this down to get that seafood taste, right? So you wanna save these also. So whatever you peel, you just wanna save your shells. Now, next thing here, we got 1 cup of all-purpose flour. Then we got a half a cup. This is the half a cup of canola oil. You guys can use vegetable oil, whatever oil you like to use. I'm gonna use canola on this one. Then of course, we got both of these bell peppers, right? Obviously we got a yellow and we got a green. And then we're gonna, we're gonna dice these, and we're gonna dice them, so that they're a little bit on the fine side. Here's everybody's favorite. Look, the W sauce. And listen, we saying, right? We making a gumbo, right? So check it out. You guys should have known automatically I'm gonna have that Creole kick. And you guys can use whatever type of Creole or Cajun seasoning you like, but this is my choice right here. And don't forget, as you see on the screen, I put a discount right there. That's a 10% discount if you use the code AB10. You guys gotta get that. You see that I cook with it a lot, and I put it on a lot of things. It doesn't just have to be seafood, like nothing like that. You can put it on, listen, I mix it in my chicken, everything. Here, we got a half a cup of butter. This is salted butter. Minced garlic. Thyme. And then here we got bay leaves. As you can see, we got 3 bay leaves. Now we got celery. I'm just gonna cut them down the middle, and then we're gonna chop these. We wanna get about a cup of this. Here we got green onions. And then we got parsley. Now this is that curdy parsley. Either parsley you guys have at your local grocery store, that'll work just fine. You wanna get yourself about at least a quarter cut. So I'll start with this and measure it and make sure I got enough. And then right here, I got 12 ounces of beer. Listen, you guys can use just about any type of beer that you would like. I just happened to go by and pick up this Sam Adams. This is that Boston Lager. That's what I'm gonna use today. Now here you'll see I got some king crab. It's up to you guys. Look at how big this is. Just by looking at my hand, you can see the size, right? Hey, this is gonna make for some good meat right here. You really wanna see something big? Look at this claw. I know you guys probably already know, this king crab is expensive. You know what I mean? This right here, I don't even wanna say how much it was, but that's what it is. Listen, it's for just me. You know what I mean? So this is me. And then if you're serving it, you guys can just serve it with some snow crab legs. That's just right here, come in these close clusters. And then we'll add these, we'll get these rinsed off, cleaned up, and we'll add this to it at the end, right? Okay, as I was putting up the seafood, because you want to keep that refrigerated, right? So I can prep my veggies. I went in there and then I remember, look, this is what's missing. You know what? You can't say this without having some kind of andouille sausage. Check this out. This is that chicken andouille sausage. Hey, I got like maybe, I don't know, somewhere right around 1.5 pounds. I just took out a bunch of links, and we're gonna cut these up and we're gonna slice them. But listen, I'll tell you this, if you ask me, in my opinion, this is a must. And for all you guys that don't eat, like pork, this chicken andouille sausage, this is the way to go. Okay, here you just seeing me, going ahead, just starting off to show you guys how I prep, my veggies. So you can see, listen, I cut my celery down the middle, right? Then I bunch them up together, and then I just go ahead and give them a chop.
Now, one thing that you don't see, listen, there's going to be a yellow onion. Look, we're going to have 1 cup of finely diced yellow onions also.
Okay, now you got all your ingredients laid out, right? You got your veggies, those are prepped, everything, right? So once you have that done, what you want to do is get yourself a pot, right? You're going to go ahead and get your pot. We're going to go ahead and start off on medium high. What I'm going to do is, now you know we had a 1/2 cup of butter. What I did was just cut it in half. We're going to start with a 1/4 cup of butter first. You just want to melt that down. And then what we want to do is we want to get our shells, right? Shells from our shrimp. We're going to go ahead and just add that to it now. Then get yourself like a, wooden spoon. This works best, man. It protects all of your pots, things like that. And what we're gonna do is we just gonna cook this down. Once this melts, then what we're gonna do is we're gonna add, 64 ounces, right? So I'm gonna add 2 of these of the chicken broth. Now you wanna go ahead and start adding your chicken broth.
Now we adding 64, ounces of the chicken broth, right? So you just want to keep stirring it, and then you can see some of the butter. We just want to get everything completely melted.
Now what you want to do is you want to bring it to a boil, right? As you can see, boiling real nice. So what I'm gonna do is now I'm gonna reduce this down to a simmer. I'm gonna go ahead and just cover it, and then we're gonna simmer it for, let's just say, about 15 minutes. We'll go from there. Look, you can see that right there. That's what you should be looking for right there. That's nice. So I'll go ahead and put the top on. I'm gonna set a timer for 15 minutes, and then we'll move on to the next step. Alexa, set a timer for 15 minutes.
15 minutes, starting now.
Now here, you guys can see, I'm just cutting these down, into like some slices, nice size slices. It's up to you, no certain size. What we're gonna do is we're gonna brown these, right? So I'm just showing you this right now. I'm not gonna bore you guys, but you guys got the picture. You can do it however you want to. You can cut them in quarters, halves, half circles, or whatever. Now, as you can see, these are already done, right? But what I want to do is I want to show you. Let me see if I can get this up in the camera to focus on that. You see the flavor, see all of the seasonings inside of this? And again, this is a chicken andouille sausage. Hey, this right here is what's going to give us real flavor. Okay, what you don't see is, look, I don't have my camera facing it, but you can see just a little piece of it right here. This is the Dutch oven, right? I still got that going on, and it's going for that 15-minute timer. We got it simmering. Now, what you want to do is, this is going to be the pot that we're going to cook everything in. So I'm going to go ahead and start putting some heat into this. And I got it on like a medium-high heat. What we want to do is take our sausage that we just, sliced. We're going to drop it in here like that. And what we're going to do is we're going to brown it. So once it comes up, it start getting, hot. We're just gonna move this around, and we're just gonna make sure that we get a little brown on it, get them to sweat, release some of that flavor inside of this, then we're gonna move over to the next step. For those of you guys that had andouille sausage, man, you know what it smells like right now. Another thing is, I forgot to mention this, but you can use any type of sausage that you like. If you can't get andouille, go ahead and use any of those smoked sausages. Listen, that's where we're gonna get a lot of this flavor at.
Now you can see right here, as the pot starts to heat up, you can see those slices right there. They're gonna start to brown. And if you look at the bottom of the pot, a lot of the juices and the goodness that's coming from that andouille sausage starts releasing into the pot. So then you just want to get yourself like a strainer, tongs, or whatever you need so that you can leave, that oily goodness down at the bottom. Now, just go ahead and add your oil, right? After you get your oil, don't forget, we were left over with another 1/4 cup of butter, right? So you want to put that in there, then you just want to stir it around. And just notice how, like, when I'm moving it around, I'm scraping the bottom of my pot too. Because listen, that's that flavor down there. Now, once your butter is completely melted, just keep moving it around. Now we're going to introduce our flour, right? So listen, we're going to do everything like in increments. So you'll notice that I do just a little bit at a time, right? So I put a little bit in there, you know what I mean? I keep moving it around. It kind of like thickens up a little bit. I just keep, moving it around, keep mixing. I don't like to, stop. You just want to keep going. Once you get it mixed, then you add a little bit more. And remember, just listen, a little bit is key. You know what I mean? Because you can always fix whatever, if you don't just dump something in there. Now, once you're done, what we're going to do is we're going to cook this, and we're going to cook this for about 30 to 40 minutes. Now, after you got everything nice and creamy, look, after the first 10 minutes, look at the color. I want you guys to pay attention to the color. You can see it right now. You know what I mean? I just mix it. I'm constantly scraping that bottom. I'm not scraping it hard because it's going to come up once we put our veggies in there. But we just keep moving it back and forth. And now you can see what it looks like after the second 10 minutes, right? So we've been cooking this down for a total of 20 minutes. And then here, now look where we at. This was after 30 minutes. That's what you're looking for, you guys. And when I say you got to trust the process, that's what we got to do. Now, after 30 minutes, now you see me starting to add my veggies. Now, we always going to add our onions first, right? Because they take a little bit longer to break down. So what we do is we add that and we cook that for 5 minutes. After 5 minutes, then we come with the rest of the remainder veggies, right? So we put those in there. So remember, look, the onions got the first 5, and then after that, then you come with the rest of your veggies. So your onions was on 5, and then they go to 10, while your rest of your bell pepper and your other veggies, they on their first 5. You know, real simple. Now we're gonna cook that down like for a total of 5 minutes. So after being 10 minutes of cooking all of these veggies down, listen, for 1 minute, we're gonna add our minced garlic, and we're just gonna add that. And like I said, it's just 1 minute. Just move that around, get it going, set a timer, count to 60, however you guys want to do it. And after 1 minute, then go ahead, crack open your beer, and let's get that incorporated. Now, as you see, listen, when you put that in there, look, just notice, I want you guys really to pay attention to what I do with that, the bottom of that, with that square edge wooden spoon. You know what I mean? And look at the bottom of that pan now, because when you put them veggies, you know, the acids and stuff from that, it just picks up everything on the bottom. Once you got that stirred in good and it's mixed thoroughly, go ahead, get yourself a strainer. And you remember we made that shrimp stock, right? Now we just pour that on top. And now it's like self-explanatory. You got it now. I know everybody, you should, hey, listen, your confidence should be up. Hey, it's all good right here. Now, once it's mixed thoroughly, then we get ready to introduce our dry ingredients, right? That'll be our Cajun, our Cajun seasoning, Cajun Creole seasoning. After that, then we're gonna come with our, our W sauce. And then last but not least, we're gonna go ahead and add our thyme. Put that in there. You wanna give it a stir. And then you know what? Now we're gonna add, our sausage. You can see it coming together, and believe me, with your nose, you know right now, you got a real gumbo on your hands. Now after the sausage, the only thing you have left is your bay leaves, right? So after you just give it a quick whirl with your wooden spoon, go ahead, add your bay leaf, and just give it a good stir. And after that, we want to start bringing the temperature back up so we can achieve a boil.
Now you can see we got it up to a boil. You want to give it a stir, right? You can see those bay leaves on top. You can see everything in there. Look, our veggies, our sausage. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna reduce it down to a simmer. I'm gonna cover it. We're gonna set a timer for the first 30 minutes, and then we're gonna come back to it, and we're gonna give it another stir, and we're just gonna see how it is. We just wanna get it down to a simmer.
Now after it's been simmering for a total of 90 minutes, once it's done, I went ahead and uncovered it. And what you see right now is I'm just taking out, I'm taking out the bay leaves, right? So once those are out, now we're gonna add our green onions. You remember the tops of the green onions? Look, we just gonna add those, and then we're gonna add some parsley, right? Now listen, I saved some of the parsley, for the end, because I like to do a little bit, garnishing, right? So go ahead, mix that up, and then what you wanna do is you wanna get your shrimp, and then you start adding your shrimp to your gumbo, right? Now here's what I'm gonna tell you. Listen, you only wanna cook it for about 5 to 7 minutes. And I'm gonna show you in just 1 second just how it should look. After about 7 minutes, take a look at this. Hey, and it's still under the fire. That's key. So listen, you just stir it around. At the end of 7 minutes or 5 minutes, it depends on how hot you have your fire underneath and how hot your gumbo is. Go ahead and look at that right there. That's what you wanna look for. Once it looks like that, now it's time to introduce, our crab legs. Now listen, if you went to use lump crab meat, you can use that. You can add that now, or you can add, like I'm doing right now, just the crab legs, either or. And I'm gonna say this, listen, those were some big legs. You know what I mean? When it comes to that king crab, you gotta have a pot big enough. And then the snow crab, you see what I'm doing? I'm just breaking them at the knuckles. And listen, I take the end where that cluster, where it forms that little cluster part right there, I break that off and drop that in there too. That doesn't do nothing but add a lot of flavor. Now, here, you just go ahead. I'm gonna show you what I do when I do some plating. You go ahead and use one of those measuring bowls that you have. When you do your ingredients, spray it with some non-sticking spray, and then go ahead and pack it with some rice, and then add it in the middle. Grab yourself a ladle, and now you just want to start adding it around on the edge, right? You can see the sausage, that right there. You can see the shrimp, but you guys are getting it. you know, pick you out some pieces, just something that look real nice. Now look, I made this like this just to, you know, just like give you guys that restaurant feel, but this is what it's like when you go to a high-end restaurant, you go ahead and get a gumbo, it looks just like that, you know. So you remember that parsley? Now you just want to go ahead and hit it with a little bit of that garnish, and the rest of it is, hey, I can't say nothing else about it, but boom, there you have it, seafood gumbo at its best.
All right, so you've seen it. You know what, this video is really about just like, you know, letting go of whatever, you know, whatever you thought about before, just trying to come into it, you know, just like regular, you know what I mean? Hey, I guess all of what I'm trying to say is, this is what I'm trying to say. You gotta trust the process. I just wanted to show you, so it might be like a little long, but I just wanted to show you guys so you know what it looks like, you know, step by step. You saw the money shot, you even got a chance to see how I do when I try to plate it. You can look at that, you can look at them high-end restaurants, you can make this in your house, and I promise you, it don't need nothing else. So here it is again, you know what I mean? And hey, listen, I'm finna get me some right now. I'm gonna go ahead and hit it with this spoon. And listen, what I like about this right here, listen, with these herbs and the cooking process, when you serve it over rice, listen, it mellows it out and it's real nice. So, cheers, everybody. If you guys live down here by me, you know, they got a spot called Harold and Bell's. Hey, listen, hey, we got this in our, you know, our own kitchen now. Now let me go ahead and try this shrimp. Listen, I'm not gonna eat none of these crab because listen, you know, my hands gotta get dirty and all that, and I just ain't gonna do that on camera. But I will tell you this, try it. You guys let me know what you think about that down in the comment section below, and we'll go from there. Now, if you're new to my channel, let me just take this time to say, hey, thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and like this video and tell everybody out there, there's a channel out here that's simplifying these recipes and taking the mystery out of cooking. And with that being said, you see I keep smiling, right? I'm about to get it. Peace, and I'm out.